Good day and welcome to Great Gardeners Podcast. I'm Matepo Mufukeng, joined by and we are both students from the University of Johannesburg. Today our topic will be about capitalism. Okay, Lerato, what can you tell me about capitalism? What can you say capitalism is?
Okay, capitalism is an economic system whereby individuals and private parties own and control businesses and properties. They control the means of production, distribution, and the prices are freely set by supply and demand in the market.
Oh, so we can also say in capitalism, private ownership is allowed.
Yes, it is allowed.
And it improves more entrepreneurs. Okay, so where does it originate? Where does capitalism originate?
It originates in the Western Europe, particularly England, during the late 16th and 18th century. The Industrial Revolution later solidified its dominance.
So, who came up with it?
Adam Smith is often considered the first modern theorist of the modern capitalism.
Okay, so how does it work?
Also, the government is not involved. So in a capitalist economy, capital assets like railway, factories and mine can be privately controlled and owned. So labor is purchased by weight, meaning I pay you for your service, and I can influence you to come work with me with what I'm offering you. So there's no set money on occupation, but there's a minimum wage.
So Lerato, can you say capitalism promotes economic growth?
Yes.
How so?
Capitalism promotes economic growth through several mechanisms such as incentivizing innovation and investment. By the pursuit of profits encourages or motivates businesses to innovate and invest in technologies that may lead to productivity and future economic growth. Also mechanisms such as fostering competition that encourages efficiency and lowers prices and allocates resources to its most reproductive use.
So it's good to know that capitalism promotes economic growth. So how does it impact globalization and international trade?
So capitalism encourages the reduction of trade barriers such as tariffs and codes by allowing goods and services to freely move across borders. It also drives technological innovation and productivity by creating a global supply chain whereby different parts of a product are manufactured in various countries, increasing access to global resources.
Let's talk about crony capitalism. Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Elaborate further.
Okay. So crony capitalism is where individuals and business owners have close ties to government officials and gain unfair advantage in the market because of their political connections.
Do you think that's fair?
No, I don't think it's fair, but we cannot penalize people for having connections and trying to pave a better way for themselves. If there's a better way to go about, why would we take the hard way?
So, as we live in a democracy, what's the relationship there?
There's no relationship there. As we know, in capitalism, people control the means of production and distribution, and in democracy, they do control production, but the government is involved. So there are laws and legislation put in place that allow the government to intervene. Good.
Okay, Lerato. Does capitalism promote freedom or exploitation?
It promotes freedom, particularly economic freedom, through mechanisms such as free market and individual choice, private property, but can also indirectly drive exploitation by concentrating power and wealth into the hands of the few. So it's an ongoing debate.
Okay. But people are greedy. So how does capitalism exist in that context?
So I don't think it's great. I think it's self-interest, because the capitalist drive to accumulate money, it's not great, but pressure from the system itself. As a capitalist, you have to strive for profit and staying in the market, or you will be out-competed by people who do.
So, Lerato, as people, we have different cultures and those cultures have values and norms. So how does capitalism shape those values and norms?
So capitalism has a profound effect on culture, transforming traditional ways of doing things and influencing social interaction worldwide. On the contrary, cultural norms and values can also shape capitalism and the way it operates. The means of production of a business and the products and services produced by those businesses have an influence on what people buy and how do they use it.
So you do believe that capitalism shapes our norms and values?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So tell me, why do you believe that capitalism is the best, and what makes it suitable for solving economic problems?
So capitalism is the best, and it's very suitable to solve economic problems because capitalism uses price signal to provide motivation to produce and allocate goods in a way that it's suitable for people's welfare. It encourages people to invest in productivity that may lead to future economic growth and productivity. So capitalism uses price signals to provide motivation to produce and allocate goods in a way that maximizes people's welfare. It encourages people to invest in productivity that may make prices cheaper and make them more available over time. It also gives people the right to their own labor regardless of their economic position in the hierarchy.
Okay. So this means this can lead to an increase in job opportunities and also the GDP of different countries again.
Yes, it does. Like countries like Singapore. Singapore is one of the countries that uses capitalism. It has a growth GDP of 4.4% in 2024. And the MIT has maintained its growth forecast to 3.0 this year alone.
That's nice.
So countries like Mauritius have 94.1% employment rate. So the capitalism economic system is working for them.
That's good. Okay, so what can you say about the other economic systems? Are they working or they're just also?
So communism, also known as the command market, is a government-driven market. So which means there's lack of competition because the government sets the wages, sets the production goals and the prices. So there's no innovation.
So everything is controlled by the state.
Yes, so people don't have a say.
Don't have a say in anything. Okay.
And then socialism, which is also known as the shared market, distributes according to contribution and effort. So if you contribute little or less, that means you want to be nothing in the market.
Oh.
You have anything.
So both systems work in the socialism economic system.
Yes, so the command and the free market, which is capitalism, they are mixed in socialism. So capitalism prioritizes profit and market first, which leads to positive impact and an increase in the economic growth. It makes tourism more accessible. It encourages a new way of doing tourism and better amenities are provided to tourists.
Okay. So how can you make this economic system more equitable?
They can implement labor laws, strong labor laws that protect the rights of workers so that they cannot be exploited.
This was a very interesting discussion we just had, wasn't it, Ratu?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we got to learn more about capitalism. It is a very complex system that has both advantages and disadvantages. So in my opinion, I also agree that capitalism is the best because its focus on profit can drive innovation, create jobs, and grow the economy while shaping our cultural norms and promoting freedom. Some may argue that a mixed economy can provide a more balanced viewpoint, but I argue otherwise. Ultimately, the key point is to find a economic system that promotes human well-being and sustainability. Thank you so much, Lerato, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, and that's it from us, the Great Gardeners Podcast.